Welcome to American Black Journal. I'm Stephen Henderson. September is National Infant Mortality Awareness Month, and the city of Detroit wants families to know about the help that's available to support healthier moms and babies. Detroit's infant mortality rate is one of the highest in the country. Take a look at these alarming statistics. In July alone, 5 Detroit infants died because of unsafe sleep practices. Across the state, 150 babies die each year, and at least 2 infants in Michigan die each month from unsafe sleeping situations. Joining me now to talk about the city's battle against infant mortality is the Director of Family and Community Health, Yolanda Hill-Ashford. She's joined by business owner and new mother, Tatiana Grant. Welcome to American Black Journal.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, so those numbers are pretty alarming. I'm also alarmed by the reason, this unsafe sleeping practice. I know from having been the father of 2 infants at some point that that's something that they really stress everywhere you go before you have a kid, that you've got to be really careful about where they sleep and how they sleep. And yet we have 5 infants die in July in Detroit from unsafe sleeping habits, which suggests the message is not getting out.
Yeah, not only does it suggest that it's not getting out, it's not necessarily reaching, when it is getting out, the people who need it the most. And that's what we're mostly proud about at the Detroit Health Department. We are actually leading a number of activities, including an event we just recently had, which is an annual event to bring about awareness and to actually make sure we're meeting moms right where they are, so that we throw community baby showers, we hold trainings, we work with a number of partners, because of course we can't address this alone, to make sure that messages are getting out. And we're training healthcare providers, we're training public health workers, we're training daycare workers, and anyone who would touch a mom at any phase of her pregnancy and even post pregnancy.
Yeah, as I said in the open, it's National Infant Mortality Month, and so there's things going on to focus on it specifically, but this is a year-long effort, I know, for the city. You've got things going all the time to try to chip away at those numbers.
Absolutely. It's a never-ending issue, problem, or concern. Like you said, in July alone, we had 5 infants die. You know, 1 is too many, but 5 is crazy.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. And so year-round, we're thinking strategically who we need to partner with, where we need to go with this message. We've recently increased our efforts to train first responders. And you would be amazed that even though the message is around, how many people don't necessarily notice that message until something happens.
Yeah, yeah. Tatiana, you are a new mother.
I
Congratulations.
am. Thank you.
Talk about sort of the process you went through in terms of having a child and knowing all of the things you're supposed to do and not supposed to do, but then sort of how that fits into this larger context of making sure that everybody knows those things before their babies are born.
Right. So I think as you're preparing for your child, you're taking the prenatal vitamins, you're getting the nursery ready, you're doing all these things, and you don't necessarily think about what happens once the child gets here. And so the good thing is to have resources like the Detroit Health Department. I knew nothing about the ABCs, to be honest with you. And so to know that and to have that in my back pocket is something that I use. George, who's my fiance, when it comes to having her at her grandparents' house, because we all know that sometimes grandparents have one way of doing things. I don't know if it doesn't seem that on the back was a thing in the past.
Sure.
They keep saying, like, there's all this new stuff. So for us, it's very important for us to know what to do, but then also for as Yolanda said, anyone who's gonna provide care for our daughter to know that as well. Because, as you said, 1 is too many. I cannot imagine having her if something were to happen.
Yeah, yeah. Yep. Did you find it easy to get that information?
If you know what to look for. So for me, it's not even on the radar to know I need to Google safe sleep practices
Right.
or anything like that.
Right.
Yeah, at
Right.
a minimum, you know, I'm thinking of what are the right diapers that we need and how do I nurse and things of that sort, that you're just thinking, okay, I'm gonna have a stroller or I'm gonna have a crib. I'm just gonna put the baby in there. Not necessarily, okay, this is the right way, you know, things of that sort. To me, unless it's in your realm or
Right.
unless you have someone who is bringing that to top of mind, it's probably not even on your radar.
Yeah, yeah. How much of this is about the health of mothers distinct from the health of babies? In other words, you need mothers to be healthy to make sure that their kids are going to be healthy, both because of the physical connection while they're pregnant, but then also after the baby is born.
It's all connected. The health of the mother impacts her ability to care for her child and to even have a healthy pregnancy and then a healthy baby outcome. And if mom isn't healthy, she wouldn't be looking for how to sleep the baby properly. She'd be looking for how to take care of herself so that she can be around for the baby. And just getting a simple message about knowing the ABCs, alone on the back in a crib in a smoke-free environment, is the thing that she needs
Say
to
that
be
again,
happy.
right? Alone on the back in a crib, ABCs. Right?
So alone, we promote same room but separate sleeping beds. On the back, I know traditionally, like you were mentioning, grandmas, that wasn't the case, but we know medically now that actually helps the baby if they're choking to throw up. In a crib, not in a car seat, not on a couch, not in an adult bed, without all of the trinkets that make us think that, you know, these are comforting things to our babies when they're really comforting to us.
Yeah.
And then in a smoke-free environment, smoking plays a part on the health of mom and baby. And you know how you feel if you walk into a smoke-filled room.
Sure.
It takes your breath away.
Yeah.
So you can imagine what it does for a newborn or an infant.
Yeah, and when you're teaching these things in the city, one of the things you got to think about also, as I pointed out, that not just the health of the mother, but the access to health and the health support. I mean, this is such a city that deals with such poverty that complicates not just the message, but the effectiveness of the knowledge.
Absolutely. And that's what I love about the health department's effort around this issue of infant mortality. We have a hotline that you can call 961-BABY, and that's 961-2229. And you can get connected to a number of services, whether it's WIC, whether it's Sister Friends. And Sister Friends is a volunteer-based program where women from the community have said, hey, I want to give back. I want to help the next mother who maybe was like me or who just need a little extra help. And they hold a woman's hands through her first year of through her pregnancy and then throughout the baby's first year of life.
Yeah.
And they connect this woman to all the resources that she needs. If she needs transportation, we are partnering with Lyft to absolutely provide that transportation. If she needs to get connected to a doctor, say she doesn't have a medical home, she's using the emergency room, we connect her to a medical home. We are working very closely with Make Your Date, which is out of the Detroit Medical Center. So we are connecting women through 961-BABY to all of the services that they can need. If they need diapers, we get them to a diaper bank. If they need food, we get them to a food bank. So 961-BABY is where we, tell every woman to go, or every father.
Yeah. Tatiana, I'm curious about the things that sort of top your list of pre-birth anxieties. What were the things that were sort of keeping you up when you're thinking about, okay, this is a human being that I'm bringing into the world and I'm responsible for. I need to make sure that things go well.
So the first thing was childbirth itself.
Yeah, sure.
So, just trying to grasp my brain around what that really looks like. Luckily for me, I did a lot of YouTube, some classes, reading books, and was able to do the majority of my labor natural. And so when Yolanda speaks of recovery, if you have that luxury of you know, being able to care for your child, that's one thing, but a lot of people who have C-sections and complications, that's not the case.
They can't do that.
Right. And so again, wanting to make sure that whoever's going to be caring for that child while the mother may be in bed and unable to carry, lift, whatever the case may be for that child is important. But in addition to that was just making sure that like she was smaller than her gestational age or whatever, so she was really, really tiny. And so making sure that we're holding her right, holding her neck, things of that sort were just definitely anxiety.
Right.
And then not knowing, I knew that I wanted to breastfeed, but I've heard so many complications about what that can and can't look like.
Yeah.
I was very fortunate that so far we're doing good.
Yeah.
And
And society doesn't make that much easier either, right?
Oh, that's a whole.
There's
that's
not
a whole thing.
there's no cultural encouragement in the business world, for instance, and in a lot of the places that we might go with our kids.
Yes, and you know it's summer right now, so putting cover on her, she ends up respiring. So it's a lot of dynamics that go into that I'm learning on the cusp right now.
Yeah.
But those would be the main things I would say, and I'm sure as we progress with her development, it's going to be a whole new list.
There'll be a whole new list.
Right.
Trust me. The list keeps replenishing itself as they get older.
Right.
Yolanda was talking about the importance of support for mothers. Was that your experience too?
Yes. So, having gone to the events and the programs, I've been so impressed with the community outreach staff. At the walk, because they saw I had my stroller, they came over and talked to me about the upcoming community baby shower, said any supplies that you may need, pack and plays, whatever the case may be. Like it's really impressive to know the resources that are available, and when you talk about access, are accessible to people.
Right.
They just need to know where to go, essentially.
Yeah. Well, and also support of your friends and family.
Oh yeah, there's that whole side of things.
That becomes critical
so that you can
as
sleep.
well, right? Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
but that all goes to the health of the child as well.
Yes, and postpartum, there's varying levels of that when it comes to a mom, but from the things that I've read, that support system tends to be a really big factor on if it does impact you and you do get it. It's just how it's chemicals and things of that sort, but it's also how you adjust to life post-baby that ends up being a pretty huge factor. And that support, my mom is watching Gianna right now, so and it's because I won't be trusting anyone with my child for a while.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And your mom is your sister friend.
Yes,
See,
absolutely.
I love that, and what's built naturally into her network is things that we have made possible for women who don't have that type of support through sister friends.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Okay, well, congratulations on the program. Congratulations on the new baby.
Thank you.
And
so
thanks
much.
both of you for being here.
Yes, thank you for having us.